Hello and welcome to a new video. This time we have the final goal of the final game between Finland and Czech Republic in the recent Under-19 World Floorball Championship. I think many of you will have seen the game, or at least the highlights and the goals. So yeah, let's see what we have here. I think we can learn three things from the defense perspective. What Czech Republic or in general you could have done better to prevent this kind of goal. So here we saw what happened. A few seconds. And now we have the starting situation. So what we have, just for some general observations, we have the M or W system here, which is Czech Republic playing. Here the right wing, left wing and center plus two defense player in the back. And then we have Finland building with two defenders and classical supporting one guy to have a more or less 2-on-1 situation on one side against one of the wing players and two players in front of the Czech goal. So I think there's three things we can learn from this scene and what you can do to prevent this kind of goal, as I said. So first thing is you never, especially if you play the MOW system, you never want to have one player run past your right wing player. I mean, of course it can happen. It's not like that it will definitely be a goal or something like that, but we can see in a few seconds, let's see the scene, that you will be more or less a little bit outnumbered. So we will have a situation of 4 Finnish players in this case against only 3 Czech players. So this is not the optimal situation, of course. Of course, you can see this Czech player is not so far behind and he's also not that far behind. So I would say the second and the third steps that Czech could have done better might also prevent a goal, but you definitely want to try to avoid that he runs past you. It's okay if you're like here and you can stop him. You cannot prevent him from running down towards the ring side here, but you should be more or less on the same height or in front of him, so he cannot just run past you, and yeah, you have an outnumbered situation. So this is the first thing. Make sure that this is not happening to you. So the second thing, and this is a crucial thing because it can quite easily happen that the ball will be played behind your right or offense player, the right wing player. Maybe a pass from this direction, or even a pass from this direction to a guy standing here, or he was running here receiving the ball. So in this situation, you will have the ball behind your wing player and in front of your center. So, and then most of the time there will be some guy running towards the middle or already being in the middle. So we have a 2-on-1 situation against the center, or a 2-on-1 which will be there in a few seconds. Maybe this player was playing a pass, then the pass comes here, he's running there, and yeah, he will go there, so there will be a 2-on-1 situation, even if he's not already there. So the question is, what is the main goal in this situation if the ball gets passed behind the right wing player? So the main task is to secure the middle space. Of course, it's always the same. Middle space is the most dangerous place in the perspective of the defending team. So what can you do? The first thing, he has to guard inside. So inside can mean between offending or the ball leading player of your opponent's team and your goal, or between this guy and a dangerous position in the middle. So you always have to choose. Of course, if he's there, then you want to secure the goal. But if he's there, you don't necessarily have to secure the goal in the first place, meaning standing here, but standing like here, securing the middle, because this is more dangerous, a pass here, than he's trying to shoot or doing something like that from this kind of position. So guarding inside is the first thing as the center, and as we see here, is more guarding the way to the goal than not the way to the middle. So this is the first thing that we can see. And the second thing is the other wing player has to run very, very fast to make sure that this middle space is closed, because if the ball is behind the right wing player, there's only one guy who can put pressure to, in this case, Finnish player or your opponent, and this is the center. So he has to go out of the middle position and attack the player. And if he goes out of the middle, of course, the middle is free, or the center is free. So the center has to be closed by the left wing, and we see this guy is way too slow closing this center spot. So it should be clear in your team, if the center runs out, then he has to run in. Of course, you could decide in the team and say, okay, in this situation, the center will never run out. He will always stay in the middle, and maybe like if he's running down the ring side, he will just follow him, but always stay in the middle. So he like kind of prevents passes into this center area. So he has more time, or he doesn't even have to take the middle. Of course, you could do that. I'm not sure if it's the best approach, but I mean, you have to decide by yourself. I think there's no like the golden rule or something like that. But if you don't say, okay, no attacking, then he definitely has to secure any passes into the central position, center spots here. Okay, but here you could say, okay, he's clearly orientated, more or less attacking or whatnot, but he wants to deal with this Finnish player. So the task has to be clear. The left wing has to close the middle very, very fast and very deep. He can even go there if the Finnish or opponent if your opponent goes quite deep in this zone. Okay, so let's see what happens next. So this is the second thing which went wrong somehow, I would say. And then you have to see, okay, very, very bad situation, of course, but you still have 2-on-1 situation, I would say, like these two Finnish guys against the one Czech defender, and then of course you have the Czech goalie. So of course it's not a good situation, but you can always try to make the best out of the situation. So let's see what happens here. And I think, yeah, the unfortunate thing is the Czech defender, left defender, now doesn't make the best, but more or less the worst out of the situation. He stands completely in the middle, blocking the side of the goalie. He cannot attack the shooting player. He cannot prevent the shooting or the central player from playing a pass. So he's neither like blocking the shot very well, or putting this player under pressure, nor is he like guarding the more or less secure pass for the secure goal. So you always have to decide which you attack or which you choose, but then you have to choose like 100%. If you choose the ball leading player 100%, you have to step up, give as much pressure as you can, and hope, okay, maybe I can do something and get the ball or whatever. And so the goalkeeper can say, okay, there will be the pass quite surely, and I can like concentrate on this spot. So you can maximize the probability of preventing the goal. Of course, it can be a goal. It's 2-on-1 situation, but you can maximize the probability. Or the second option, of course, is like 100% guarding this pass. Just go there, prevent this guy, take him tight, and then of course there will be a free shot or 1-on-0, you could say, against the goalie. But then, of course, it's a 1-on-0. It can be a goal, but it don't have to be. I mean, there are so many situations which do not lead to a goal even if you have a 1-on-0 situation on the goalie. So let's see again what happens here. He's neither like putting pressure on the ball leading player, nor is he preventing the pass. And then of course it's the goal. So yeah, I think it can happen, these kind of situations. I mean, it's a long game, very tough game. So, but I think it's also a good example, even if your top players, I mean, Czech team, very, very good team, very good players, Finnish team, of course, the same. So you have a very high level here in terms of strength and I think knowledge and technical abilities and so on. But you can see like you have to be always 100% concentrated. You're not allowed to make any mistakes on that high level, and if you do so, then yeah, and I think we have more or less 2 or 3 mistakes in a row here, and then one team, in this case Finland, will score the goal and take the championship in this case. Okay, I hope you could take some learnings out of that, help your defense improve, and yeah, let's see what comes next.